This sermon is on the mental illness myth. Mental illness is a myth. Why do I say that? Because there's no scientific test or proof that you can use to tell someone has mental illness. You can test for diabetes, cancer, any other disease, but mental illness, there's no test. How they diagnose mental illness? They observe you, they watch you, they study you, and then they diagnose your condition. But it is a myth. Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's a brain scientist. She's a born-again Christian. And I'd rather believe a born-again Christian than I do the world. Because the Bible says thy word is truth. So you're going to get the truth out of a Christian than someone else. So she's a born-again Christian. And if you go on any browser on a computer and type in the mental illness myth by Dr. Caroline Leaf, you'll get a blog describing the mental illness myth. Also, Dr. Peter Breggin is a psychiatrist in the States. He treats all his patients with no medication. And the way he does it, he spends time with the patients and counsels them, surrounds them with people to help them, encourage them, work with them, and he has a real great success with his patients. And he uses no drugs. And he says the only biochemical imbalance that you have is the one the doctors put in you by the medication. So the medication is causing a biochemical imbalance. Let's put it this way. For instance, if you drink coffee and then you stop taking it for a while, you have withdrawal symptoms. Same thing. So Dr. Peter Breggin, he treats all his patients with no drugs. He has all kinds of lawsuits that he won against drug companies, psychiatrists, and other people. And he won pretty well every one of them. And they call him the conscience of psychiatry. And he's a good doctor. A lot of people do not believe that. Anyway, I was misdiagnosed with schizophrenia, and they tagged me with illness because I said that I was involved in the occult. Because they asked me, they said, were you involved in the occult? I said, yes. Then they asked me if you were a born-again Christian. I said, yes. Then they asked me, do you hear messages from heaven? I said, yes. And they says, or from God? I said, yes. And they tagged me with the schizophrenia, stuck me in a hospital, put me on all kinds of pills, and spent time in there. And the more pills they gave me, the worse I got. And they told me that they were helping me, and that I was taking so long, spending too much time in there, because they were getting me to get used to my medication. And the more drugs they gave me, the worse I got. They never helped me. They didn't do anything. All they do is cause a biochemical imbalance, like Dr. Peter Breggin says. He's a good psychiatrist. They call him the conscience of psychiatry. Even I heard a doctor say that how they diagnose mental illness is they observe you, they study you, and they watch you. But there's no scientific proof that you can use to tell that someone has mental illness. You can test for diabetes, cancer, anything else, but for mental illness, there's no scientific test or proof that you can use if someone has it. And so anyway, I ended up in the hospital, and they released me from the hospital, and I was involved in drugs, the occult, witchcraft, things like that, and I got involved in all that. So they tagged me with an illness, and made my life worse. Thanks for listening. Remember, Jesus is Lord.